Your Excellencies, honored guests, distinguished participants from around the world, it is a distinct pleasure to meet you here at the Global Peace Leadership Conference in my birth nation of Korea. Thank you for your participation and your continuing support in this noble cause for peace. Let me first express my appreciation for those who have worked tirelessly to make this significant Global Peace Leadership Conference a reality. It is only through true owners who are willing to make the sacrifices out of their busy schedules that the all too important work for peace is sustained. I especially want to recognize Dr. Lee Ki-taek, the Executive Vice Chairman of the National Unification Advisory Council and the Chairman of the GPLC KOREA 2010, who has left a legacy of integrity in Korean politics. I also want to thank Dr. Song Yeon-sun, a member of the Korea National Assembly and a member of the Global Peace Festival Foundation's Global Leadership Council. All the members of the Global Peace Leadership Conference Organizing Committee, cooperating government agency, and countless volunteers for their dedicated efforts in organizing these deliberations. I also want to thank the esteemed Dr. Manu Chandaria, who is spearheading the Global Peace Festival and Convention in Kenya, which His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki will patron in Nairobi later this year. Let us give all of them, and there are many more dignitaries gathered here, let us give all of them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Korea is known as a land of the morning calm. I believe that that image is a fitting metaphor for a nation poised to make a meaningful impact on the global stage. Like the rise of a new dawn in the early hours of a new day, it captures the possibility of Korea's unique position not only on this peninsula, this region of Northeast Asia, and the Pan-Pacific Rim, but around the world. In recent months, the tensions between North and South have been in the forefront of international news. Although many consider the Cold War to have ended during the latter part of the 1980s with the collapse of the Soviet Union, it has not ended on this peninsula. The two Koreas are officially still at war, maintaining an unstable détente due to the monumental efforts of the Korean people and the intervention of powerful neighbors to maintain peace as well as build a process of reconciliation. Yet, given this context, it is all the more remarkable that the democratic and free Korea to the south continues to develop in ways that have earned the respect of the international community. This is particularly an exciting juncture for South Korea as it prepares to host the important G20 Nations Summit for the first time next month here in Seoul. Its inclusion in the G20 marks the high point of the South's economic miracle, which began with its devastation at the end of the Korean War to its recognition now as the 15th largest economy in the world. It is a clear testament to the resilient spirit of the Korean people, that despite the challenges, that they could so dramatically improve their destiny. All around the globe, but particularly in the Southern Hemisphere, we find that like Korea of the 1950s and 60s, many nations and regions are today undergoing dramatic change, facing pivotal challenges, and at the same time, tremendous opportunities. The global financial crisis, which has paralyzed the developed world of the Northern Hemisphere, has left the Southern Hemisphere primarily unscathed. Many in these nations are questioning the current established Western models of development and are looking for alternative solutions, creating an opportune moment for change and for leadership. We have entered an inflection point in human history where the circumstances of this moment are preparing the world for a great paradigm shift of major proportions, which could positively or negatively affect this century. Being a man of faith, I cannot but feel the hand of divine providence guiding these developments in this era. Yet at the same time, as a man in my 40s, I feel the urgency of a new generation of global leaders to make their mark in history. I submit to you that the deciding factor at such times is always moral and innovative leadership on every level. What do I mean by moral and innovative leadership? First, it has to promote a greater good that could benefit not only the individual, but the larger society, nation, and eventually the world. This is the moral orientation of leadership that I am describing. For it to come to fruition, it has to be guided by a vision or aspiration and a clear set of irrevocable, universal principles and values that could have the breadth and the depth to encompass the diversity of the human family. Secondly, it has to harness mankind's natural creative need to advance and develop the human condition. This is the innovative component of leadership. As you all know, every culture has examples of extraordinary men and women who propel humanity forward in the fields of philosophy, ethics, the sciences, athletics, and the cultural arts, by freely exercising their God-given talents to the point of even challenging existing paradigms. Although many face difficulties due to religious, societal, and legal constraints of their time, it is fair to say that the modern world, with its greater freedoms and advancements, has benefited greatly due to the sacrifices of these innovators. Ladies and gentlemen, the modern era has seen some of the greatest scientific advancements in recorded history that continue to shrink our globe with dramatic improvements in travel, communications, and exchange and knowledge of information. Our once global village is fast becoming our global home. In the past, distance and time were the physical impediments which isolated and separated the human race. However, they are no longer impediments. In other words, science and technology have taken away the physical barriers, but have not taken away the racial, religious, national, tribal, or ethnic pretensions, which still are the source of ongoing conflicts around the world. The Global Peace Festival Foundation is leading efforts for peace based upon the spiritual vision expressed in a simple yet profound phrase: one family under God. This vision's transformative power comes from the fundamental truth that all people, regardless of race, religion, nationality, or tribe, or ethnicity, are spiritual beings who share a common heritage in one God or one Creator. As Victor Hugo was to have said, more powerful than an invading army is an idea whose time has come. Around the globe, our global peace festivals have demonstrated that peoples of widely diverse backgrounds are ready to embrace this vision and commit themselves to engaging, working, and living together as one family. Centered upon this vision of one family under God, GPFF has developed multi-sector partnerships with its action-oriented initiatives in three key areas. First, building interfaith partnerships. Second, strengthening families. And third, promoting a culture of heart through service. In just 3 years, GPFF has engaged more than 1 million people on 6 continents, drawing on the energy and conviction of civil society partners, the resources of the business community, the shared values of the faith-based organizations, as well as engagement of government agencies. Our innovative approach to interfaith partnerships has brought leaders from all the great faith traditions, as well as those who do not have faith, to participate together in unprecedented ways. Unlike the interfaith of the past, which was an effort of a particular faith tradition to promote tolerance and understanding from those outside of their faith, GPFF consciously avoids advocating any one particular religious tradition, but rather highlights spirituality as a basis of building a common platform of shared aspirations, principles, and values. As a result, we are effectively working around the globe, from the former communist bloc nations to the primarily pluralistic and capitalist Americas, from the secular progressive European Union to the deeply religious Middle East, from tribal Africa to the diversity and energy of Asia. We have continuously seen that when people of faith collaborate in partnership for the greater good, even the most challenging social problems can be effectively addressed. In Indonesia, for example, GPFF is partnering with Nahdlatul Ulama, NU, the largest Muslim organization in the world, on a global interfaith summit. In preparation for the summit in Jakarta, we are already collaborating on joint programs such as the Power of Rupiah project that educates youth to be socially aware of the plight of their less fortunate neighbors, regardless of class, faith, or ethnicity, as well as raise the resources to address poverty and other serious social problems. Secondly, GPFF affirms that the family is not only vital to the spiritual well-being of the individual, but also essential to building a peaceful society, nation, and world. The family is the fundamental unit of society where the most essential life skills are learned. It should be the school of love, where the virtues that underlie all positive social relations are practiced and made real. Therefore, it is vital to support the traditional institutions of marriage and family, both in public policy and through practical initiatives. I am proud to report that with the efforts of GPFF and its partners, the recently adopted Kenyan Constitution with overwhelming support, had included provisions to protect the sacred institution of marriage, as well as the sanctity of life in the womb. Both these issues are heavily contested in the more developed Western democracies. But Kenya, although considered to be a developing nation, has taken the lead on this social issue, recognizing that they have national as well as global consequences.